I'm Chef Nancy, and with me today is Coach Kirby.
I'm so glad to be here again.
Coach is going to help me cook, and she's also going to show us some fun exercises to get us in shape. So today we're going to do some fun stuff. We're going to do stuff you can do on the grill outside, or if it's raining or snowing, you can do inside on a grill pan.
Yes.
I like using a grill pan in the winter, and sometimes when it's raining or storming, I use it in the summer.
That's pretty cool. I didn't even, what's that made out of? Cast iron?
Cast iron. It's
cool.
the South, baby.
All right, well, you start going here. I'm going to get ready to cook.
All right, we're going to make today with ground beef koftas, which is an Iranian dish. And to go with that, we're going to make tabbouleh, which is my favorite dish. Then I'm going to teach y'all how to make some German bratwurst, only we're going to make them into patties and grill them, and we're going to have bratburgers.
Huh.
And we're going to serve that today, Kirby,
all right,
with red cabbage and apple slaw.
Lots of colors.
Colors, and then because, you know, we're going to Germany and we're going to Iran, I thought we'd hop over to the Caribbean.
Why not?
For dessert. And we're going to do a wonderful Caribbean bananas.
Will it perhaps be set on fire?
Oh, perhaps.
I love flaming food.
There you go. All right, so what we're going to do first, I'm going to show you the ingredients for beef kofta. We have right here, we have ground cumin, we have coriander that I ground in a food processor, we have paprika, cayenne powder, and black pepper. We also have salt, flat leaf parsley, and some cilantro. And of course, we have our ground beef. The ground beef is 80-20, which means it's 80% meat, 20% fat. It's not 70-30.
Right.
No.
And you can get less fat in your meat, but it gets a little bit more expensive when you do that.
It gets expensive, and when you're doing it on the grill, you're burning up a lot of the fat drips. So
that's why I love
we're in good shape.
Okay.
All right, you ready to get to work?
Let's do it.
All right. I got my beef in the pan. I cut up my cilantro already.
All right.
And you cut cilantro and parsley the same way.
I'm curious because I don't know how to ever get my greens to cut up this small.
Well, I'll show you. Now this is flat leaf parsley.
What other
It's
kind
more
is there?
pungent than the curly parsley. And I'm all about flavor.
Do they have both of those in the grocery store?
Absolutely. They're right next to each other.
So this is flat leaf.
This is flat leaf, and I'm going to roll it up.
Rolling it.
And I'm going to take it and I'm going to start cutting like this until I get down to where the stalks are.
That is a very sharp knife.
That's right. And then when I get to the stalks, I'm just going to kind of shave it like this to get all that good stuff off of it.
So a key would be having a sharp knife to start with and then rolling it.
Right. And then after you do that, you're just going to take your hand on the knife right here and hold it here, and you're just going to go like this until you got it chopped all the way.
And you do that until it's tiny, tiny little pieces like this.
For the kofta.
For the kofta.
Yeah. Now what I'm going to do, I already cut some up real tiny.
Yes.
So I'm going to put
it's
some
like
of
a cooking show, Chef Nancy.
Well, yes.
All right, I'll just
We're going to put some of the parsley and some of the cilantro into our beef kofta.
Now, does that need to get all squished together?
Once we finish everything. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here.
All right.
And
shall we dance?
Yeah, shall we? That's a good way to get exercise.
Well, we could do a little dancing while we do this.
I'm going to mince the onion. Now, when I do that, I don't cut the end all the way off the root because it's going to hold it together for me. I'm going to cut this in half long ways. Now, what we're going to do to cut this real small, because you wanted a real small mince, we're going to take and we're going to cut these itty-bitty stripes.
All right.
into the onion.
And I like the way you keep your fingers back on the hand that's holding it so they don't get cut.
All right, then I'm going to go from the top and I'm going to cut it some more real little.
See, these are the things as a chef are second nature to you, but to someone like me, this is all fascinating. I never knew how to cut an onion perfectly like that.
Now, there you go. See? Now, if you've got some pieces that are a little big,
Yes?
you can chop it a little bit, but you never want to put stuff like this and your parsley, things like that in a food processor.
Why is that?
Because it tears it and they turn to water.
Ah.
Yeah, so you don't want to do that. I won't eat tabbouleh places. For instance, we're going to make tabbouleh later, that they put parsley in a food processor because it tears it up and I end up with this horrible yucco. It changes the flavor.
Good tip. All right.
All right, now I've got my onion in there.
Okay.
Now I'm going to add my spices. Cumin, paprika. Now this is coriander. Again, I bought it whole and put it in a food processor and ground it up.
Are coriander the seeds from cilantro?
Cilantro, right.
Okay.
Now, we're going to take 2 teaspoons of that, and we're going to take 2 teaspoons of the paprika. And I like to use a decent paprika. I know you can buy that dollar stuff places, but it really doesn't have the same flavor.
So what kind of flavor does paprika have? Because I always thought it was just a garnish.
Well, it is with some people. Paprika comes from a special pepper, kind of like a bell pepper.
So it's not hot, though? Or
No,
is it?
no.
Okay.
All
You
right.
can really smell that cumin.
I know. Now, when you have dried herbs, after about 6 months, they lose it.
They really do.
Yeah.
That's not just a marketing ploy.
Now, I want 3/4 of a teaspoon of red pepper, and I really don't want any more.
Now that is hot, right?
Yes, and I don't want to put any more.
I have some spices that have moved with me from San Antonio to Seattle to Louisville, and I've lived in Louisville now for 17 years.
You television people make me sick.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe I should throw that away. It's
Maybe you should.
basically doing nothing, correct?
Correct. Now I'm going to put a little pepper in it and a little salt, about a teaspoon. I've got my cilantro, and now I'm going to mix it up. And after I mix it up, I'm going to refrigerate it and let all these flavors meld. And then, Coach,
Yes.
I am
Chef?
going to put it on skewers. And what we're going to do, I got some bamboo skewers that I'm going to put it on. And what we're going to do with it,
How come you get to do all the fun stuff?
I'm going to let you do the bratwurst.
Really? I've been to a sausage factory. I'm not sure I want the bratwurst assignment.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
Oh, well, something new, right?
Yeah, something new. All right, now, here we go. Now, I'm going to cover this and put it in the refrigerator. I'm going to wash my hands. And, Coach,
Yes.
if you would get the wooden skewers, I want to show them what we're doing with them.
Should I bring all the water in the pan as
Yes. If you'll pick them up, since I got goobers on my hands.
well? All right, here they are. They've been soaking in water, I assume.
And we're
for
going
how long?
to keep them in water and soak them for a good half an hour. Or an hour. I put them in now.
What will that do?
And it keeps it from flaring up on the grill.
Ah.
Boom!
I don't know. There might be some kids out there that would like to see that. But
Yeah,
no,
well,
safety first,
no, safety first. All right,
right.
so I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, wash my hands, and come back. And Kirby, I'm going to let this rest for an hour. I'm going to make tabbouleh.
All right.
So,
An hour gives me some time to do a little something, a little exercise maybe.
right, so I was thinking maybe later on we're going to grill these. You could go outside, light the grill, and do some fun exercises.
Good idea. I'll see you in a minute.
I'll call you later.
In an hour.
All right, bye. Okay, we're ready for tabbouleh. Now, tabbouleh is made with tomatoes and cucumber and green onions and parsley, and you can use flat leaf or curly. I'm using flat leaf today because I like that flavor more. The fresh mint I cut out of the garden, and I'm using cracked wheat. And what I'm going to do is soak this in hot water. And after about a half an hour or so, it'll soften up. I'll drain it, and then I mix all this stuff together with some olive oil, salt and pepper, and some lemon juice. And I'm not using fresh lemon juice today. You can, but I'm showing you that it's good to make with just regular lemon juice too. Now, if you want to eat this as a vegetarian dish, you can change the bulgur wheat or the cracked wheat to quinoa. Now, quinoa is a perfect protein. It is a grain, and you cook it like rice. So if you put quinoa instead of the cracked wheat, you'd have a complete vegetarian dish. Now, I'm going to go get Coach back in here because I'm going to make her work. Coach!
Done working out for a while. Although that was fun. Time to help you out?
Yes.
All right.
All right. What I want you to do, Coach,
yes,
is I want you to get a bowl and put some hot water in it and pour this bulgur in it. Okay?
Bulgur.
Bulgur.
It's not vulgar, it's bulgur.
And I am going to chop up the rest of this parsley.
I'm going to put this bulgur right in here. And I love the fact that you talked about quinoa. That's one of my favorite things to include in lots of foods. I make a great breakfast cereal out of quinoa.
Oh, yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff with quinoa. But a lot of people are afraid of it, and all you do is cook it like rice. Now, I've just about got this chopped right, and I'm going to put it in this bowl using the back of my knife so I don't hurt the blade.
Huh. Yet another knife trick from the chef that I didn't know.
There you go. Now.
No wonder my knives are so dull.
Well, one of the things, if you've got a really dull knife, saw with it. It works better.
Now this you got right out of the garden. Isn't
Yeah.
this a great time of year?
All right, now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mint, and I don't need all this.
Well,
Isn't this good? You know what's good to do with mint?
put it in a mint julep.
Yeah. But another good thing, have you ever infused it with lemon and water?
How would I do that?
All right, one of the ways to do it is you take the leaves and you put them in the water with sliced lemon, let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, and oh, is it tasty.
I bet that would be good. This is also a natural breath freshener.
Yes, it is. But
Okay.
there's all different kinds of mint. And this is the mint I call, and I'm probably calling it the wrong name, but it's Kentucky mint, and it is the mint they use in juleps.
This is different than the mint grown in my backyard, which is making me wonder now if what's grown in my backyard is actually mint, or if I've just been chopping,
it's mint.
Maybe I've been chopping up weeds and using it in my food.
No, there are spearmint, peppermint, chocolate mint. There is pineapple mint, which is really fun to grow. I grow that in a pot, and it's variegated, and it looks great. But another thing that you can tell if something's mint or not is if you feel the stem, and you'll see it's square and not round.
Why, by golly, it is square.
There you go.
I had no idea.
That's how you know what you got.
I'm going to go test that out.
That's how you know. Now, I've got my green onions, and I use, depending on the time of year, in the summer you don't have to use a whole bunch of it. I use about 4 or 5.
How
in the
far
winter,
up do you go?
I use the whole kit and caboodle.
All
I'm
the way
using
up into the
all
greens.
of it.
So how many years have I been throwing away 3/4 of
Oh.
my produce? Because I thought you were only supposed to do the white part.
No, that's just with leeks. Leeks, you just do the white part. Leeks are the overgrown, they look like overgrown, they're not, but overgrown green onions. Now, got my...
Remember, back of your knife, back of your knife.
I know. Thank you, Coach.
Now,
Now,
I mean,
We
the
got a lot of
pseudo-authority.
green going on, but guess
like
what's
the green.
going to happen? We're going to put tomatoes in it, and we've got white from the green onions, and we're going to have the cucumber.
So green food, you know, let's talk about eating the rainbow, because I think that's an important part of a healthy diet, don't you?
Absolutely. You know, a dietitian told me once, if I ate every color every day,
Yes.
I'd be in good shape.
And we're not talking about Skittles and Kool-Aid.
No,
colors.
here's the best, and I know you work with children too. I asked the children one day, I said, who had blue for breakfast? One little boy said, I had Fruit Loops.
Well, you
That
know,
doesn't count.
It doesn't count. But so has anybody ever had a plate of food that's just like all beige? Not only is that but not very appealing, but there's very little nutritional value in that, right?
Exactly. That's why in restaurants, you always have all the colors on a plate. They want you to be hungry.
See, she has the inside scoop, but you're right. So when we're eating green foods, like our scallions and even, well, parsley and the cilantro, you know, green is good for your bones and for your teeth. And then there's all different vitamins and minerals in this. And then red in the tomato, that's going to be really good for keeping your heart strong. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so great things. And I just think, like you said, it's so much more appealing to eat a plate of food that has beautiful natural colors from the earth, not put in there by the manufacturing plant.
Are you saying red dye number 3?
I am saying that. Or it's like Pop-Tarts, strawberry Pop-Tarts. Is there really strawberry in the Pop-Tarts?
Well, there is after they squeeze all the goober out of it and add all the sweetness to it.
Exactly. So, again, that doesn't really count, but this counts.
This counts. Now, I'm going to get a bigger bowl, Miss
All right.
Kirby. Now, all I need to do is peel the cucumber, and we need to check our bulgur here. Oh, it's not quite ready yet.
Do you think I didn't make that water hot enough?
Well, if not, we can, no, it'll be fine. It just takes it about a half an hour.
So, you know, you were talking about quinoa.
Uh-huh.
And quinoa has so many amino acids in it as well. You know, as you said, it's the perfect protein. The perfect protein. But you could use that in here as well, right? Instead of the cracked wheat?
Right.
And do you also need to soak quinoa? That was my question for you.
No, you cook it like rice. You boil the water, you put it in the water, you cook it for a while, check it till you get really the consistency you want. I like stuff a little less done than some other people do.
Well, one of the things I like about quinoa is it only takes about 10 minutes to cook, where my rice takes much, much longer.
Rice takes anywhere, depending on the type of rice, 15 to 20 minutes or, you know, like that. And you're right, quinoa's quicker.
Fast.
And if you have too much water in it when it's done, you just drain it in a mesh strainer.
Now, I've never done that, cut the seeds out of the middle. What is that for? Why are you doing that?
Because some people aren't so good with seeds.
Oh, I thought maybe it made less water in the cucumber or something.
No, well, it would if I was grinding it up like for Benedictine. But a lot of people go, oh, I can't eat that because it's got cucumber seeds. Quit whining.
You're right. No whining. No yuck. The no yuck rule.
Oh, and
Someone
you're
makes
not
you
allowed
food.
to say nasty either. Because, you know, you got to learn. And one of the things I learned is my mama used to put okra in her vegetable soup. And cooked okra is like snot.
It is a little slimy.
All right, so one day I went to a friend's house and she had pickled okra. And I was scared to death to taste that.
You want to try it?
No. Well, she asked me to try it, and by golly, when I did, I fell in love with it.
So,
Just absolutely
isn't that the
fell.
truth? So, chef, it's like if you don't like, particularly if you're a child, and you don't like cooked broccoli, have you ever tried raw broccoli? You may love it, you know?
Kids prefer raw vegetables from cooked. They like that crunch, that texture.
What do you
Chef,
like? Yes.
Coach, can you get me that rubber spatula?
This one?
Yeah.
This kitchen has everything.
I know. Now, I've got, oh, look at these colors. Now, once I add the bulgur in there, it's really going to be something. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my lemon juice.
About how much lemon juice?
Well, I don't really measure it. It depends on how much I get out of the parsley, but anywhere from a fourth of a cup to a cup, literally.
Okay.
I just kind of, I put in about a half a cup there.
But see, when you're talking to someone like me, there could be a big problem there. It could be like lemonade with parsley bits. So
I gotcha. So start out with about a third of a cup
okay.
of your, whoops, I'm losing it. Oh no.
Oh, I was making that.
A third of a cup of lemon juice and fourth of a cup of oil and kind of take it from there.
All right.
Now, when our bulgur's done, we're going to add it to this.
Okay.
Okay? Now, what we're going to do next is make our koftas.
Oh, our koftas are ready to be made. They've been
Right.
resting while we were exercising and making tabbouleh.
So let's clean up and go get them.
I can't wait.
Okay, Coach,
Yes?
what we're going to do is
What are you using these chopsticks for? No?
Those are our skewers that we soak. And I'm making I'm doing this on wax paper, so
It smells so good.
I know, isn't that fun?
You can really smell the cumin in it.
And I'm doing 2 of these skewers.
All right.
Because it holds it better.
Ah.
Then I'm gonna make it,
What is
and
this
fold
called
it
again
up.
that we're making? Kafka?
Kofta.
Kofta.
K-O-F-T-A.
Okay.
And we have so many international places here in town, and
Yeah.
people love them so much that's why I like to show people how to make some of the food they're eating.
Absolutely. I love to taste food from around the world. I think it's the most fun way to eat.
Now, and then what we're going to do is we've got our tabbouleh made. After we do this, you said you already lit the grill when you went to work out.
I did. That was one of the things I did while I was outside.
Okay, we're going to go.
And I just want to say one more time that I did not realize, because I always try to eat the meat that has the lowest amount of fat in it.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that that's why the things I make on the grill taste so bad.
Yeah, you need to have a little bit more fat to it.
Okay, so did I do that right?
That's pretty good, Coach.
Okay, it's not as beautiful as yours, but
Well, of course
I'm
not.
doing my best.
All right. All right, let's clean up and let's go grill. All right, Coach.
Yes, here we
Let's
are.
cook. All right.
So I'm handing you the, what are these called again? Koftas?
Koftas. And I'm
Koftas.
going to put them on the grill.
Sorry, I keep forgetting the name. I just hadn't heard it before.
Well, that's true. You haven't.
Whew.
Now, because these don't have egg in it,
Yes.
we can cook them medium if we'd like.
All right.
And what we're going to do, we're going to put them on the grill, and we're going to cover it for a few minutes so they get that little bit of that smoky, yummy flavor. And when you're cooking beef, when it starts to get gray around the edges, that's when you know to turn it. And it's halfway done. So we're going to let this go for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we're going to check it and turn it. All right, now, I want to make sure these are done all the way. So, as this comes off,
They sure smell good.
oh, yummy. Take these off,
Yes.
and what I'm going to do is close this and let the flame clean the grill. And I'm going to make Coach and I a plate. You want to put those right there, Coach?
Yes. So we have that beautiful tabbouleh.
Beautiful tabbouleh. Look at those colors. And that lemon juice.
And that's a really nice salad or side dish to have when you're having an outdoor picnic kind of thing, because there's no mayonnaise in it.
Now, when you serve these, I normally take them right off the skewer. See how
Okay.
easily that comes off?
Yes. Beautiful.
Oh,
That's
that
a
meat.
perfect tabbouleh.
oh,
That
thank you.
meat, that tabbouleh, it's delicious.
Now we're making bratwurst. What I did is I've got ground pork, and it's 80-20, Coach.
Okay.
just like the hamburger's 80-20. I need some fat in it.
Because it's going on the grill.
It's going on the grill, and
Okay.
it'll get too dry. Now, I had them grind it for me at Value Market.
Oh, all right,
I
that's
just
key,
tell
huh?
them this is how much I need. They grind it for me. I tell them a day ahead of time.
So how much is this?
This is 2.5 pounds
Oh.
because we're going to eat a lot of these.
Okay, great. Well, all
They're
right.
so good, you know. So what we're going to put in them is salt, rub sage, white pepper, ground celery seed. I ground it in the food processor, the little baby one. And if you can't find mace, we're going to use nutmeg. Now, if you want to know what mace is, here's
Yes,
a
I
whole
do.
nutmeg.
Okay.
Well, before it gets like this, it's covered in this real light, creamy covering that almost looks like it's been dipped in white chocolate
Okay.
and drizzled down.
I have seen that before.
That's mace. The outside of it's mace.
Is mace very expensive?
Yes.
I would say so.
And once they grind it, it really loses its flavor fast. So today, we're going to use nutmeg.
Does mace taste somewhat like nutmeg, I would
Yes.
assume?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tastes very similar.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to measure out, 1.5 tablespoons of salt. And I'm not measuring it over this.
So measure away from the food that you are preparing.
Right. 1.5 tablespoons.
This is like a lot of salt.
Well, it is, but we've got 2.5 pounds of meat.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, rub sage. Now,
That's different than regular sage?
yeah, see how this is real flaky looking?
Yes.
And they literally rub it in a special machine.
Yes. And that
All
makes
right.
it more flavorful?
Right.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to use a tablespoon of that. Oh, smell that. Isn't that good? Now I'm going to use white pepper, and I'm not using black pepper because what color is pork?
It's kind of white. It's the other white meat, or red meat.
The other white meat.
Yeah, is that what that
Now, what white pepper is, it's the inside of black pepper. If you take fresh ground black pepper and you look at it, it's got white specks.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And
How
this
do they
is a little.
extract that? That's-
They just crack the outside off.
Oh my gosh. Who knew all this was going on in the spice world?
Well, see, there's a lot of things going on in the spice world that you didn't know. All right. Ground celery seed, 1/8 of a teaspoon. Now, you may not think this is important, but it really is.
Well, I didn't know. I've never seen seeds on celery.
When it goes to seed, where the flowers are, if you let it keep going,
That's
it
where you
goes
get
to
this.
seed. Yeah.
I've actually never seen celery growing, so I love knowing that.
Oh, well,
So thank
that
you.
makes it fun. Now, we don't have the mace, so we're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of the nutmeg. Coach,
Yes.
go for it.
This is my job, huh? So,
Uh-huh.
all right.
Now, go up from the bottom.
Up from the bottom. Oh, you taught me this last time, and it already. Oh, I'm glad we're having a review session today.
There you go. And make sure you get all the good stuff.
But I have to admit, I've forgotten why you go from the bottom. I'm assuming it's something to do with the mixing.
It's to do with the mixing and breaking it in half the way you are, because you don't want any hot spots. You don't want any spots that may be all white pepper or any spots that are all celery seed, because that's not a happy
I see
situation.
some hot spots.
All right. Now, you don't want to overwork it because you don't want the fat to get hot.
Really?
Yes.
What will happen if that happens?
It gets all sticky. Like, haven't you ever had meatloaf that
Yeah.
tasted sticky?
Absolutely.
You
All my
overworked
meatloaf.
it.
I see.
All right, now, we're going to make 1/4 pound, and
These
if
are
we have
freezing
2.5
cold.
pounds, because the meat needed to be cold,
Yeah.
we're going to make 10 balls, the
Okay.
same size. So you have to figure out what size we're doing.
I know you don't think I can do this, but I'm looking very carefully at how you're doing it, Chef. So, is pork a healthy meat? I don't know
Sure
much
it
about
is.
pork.
Well, I mean, anything's healthy if you don't eat too much of it.
Well, and it's a protein, so protein helps us build
Right,
muscle in
and
our
it
bodies.
just depends on the fat.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Now, we're going to make these into burgers.
Voila.
And I'm going to show you how I like to do that. I
Yes.
make the ball,
Let me just grab this over here. Yes?
I punch it down, and I like to make sure my bun's totally covered.
Well, I always try to keep my buns covered as well.
All right, you see how I'm doing, and I use my hand to cup it. We're gonna make the rest of these, and then we're gonna refrigerate it, and we're gonna make our cabbage.
Oh, cabbage, good. I love cabbage. Love
Okay?
it. Mm-hmm.
Coach,
Yes.
we're gonna make a slaw with
right.
red cabbage, apples. I like to use Granny Smith because they're a little tart.
All right.
Little green onion because I love green onions and they've got good nutrients. Some fresh dill. You don't have to use dill. You can use dried dill too. I just like the dill. And then the dressing is something a lot of us from the South are familiar with. It's apple cider vinegar, sugar, and oil with a little salt and pepper. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I am going to make the salad dressing.
Okay, this is
So
going to be great.
this is equal parts, 1/4 of a cup of sugar. Now you can do less sugar if you want.
Okay.
Okay. I'm using canola oil because I don't want the oil to have any flavor.
So
And-
olive oil would not be a good choice.
No. And then I got my apple cider vinegar. And I'm done with this.
Could you use something like stevia in there, a natural sweetener?
Yeah, but you're going to have to test it because you don't want it to be too sweet.
Okay.
Okay. If you'll get rid of those,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to whisk this. And you want to whisk it till the sugar melts and it emulsifies. Now, you know, when I made the tabbouleh earlier, I used olive oil because I wanted that flavor.
Okay.
Okay? Now, when we talk about colors, we're getting a lot of colors in here.
Which is very healthy for us because we want to eat
Right.
a rainbow of colors.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about, I've almost got that stirred up.
Do you want me to mix that for you while you're moving on to the next?
Well, I think I pretty much have it. Now,
Okay.
what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut
Some cabbage.
cabbage for slaw.
And I'm always fascinated watching you chop and cut things.
I'm going to cut this at an angle,
Okay.
and it gets the
because-
core out.
To get the core out. All right. You use much sharper knives than I use, but because you know how to chop correctly, to cut correctly, I think it's much safer.
Well, it's safer to use a sharp knife, but if you see how I'm sawing, if your knife's dull, saw like this.
Okay. So purple vegetables, purple and blue vegetables, there are lots of different reasons why these fruits or vegetables have lots of nutrients in them for us. But you can remember a couple of things. Purple and blue help your memory.
Really?
They do.
Oh, as one gets older, one needs that help.
So eat lots and lots of cabbage. And it's also good for your blood. And blue...
Well, if it's good for your blood,
Yeah.
well, I heard red's good for your heart. That kind of makes sense then.
And so I think a green apple, we were talking about this. What would a green apple be?
Well,
Would
it's
it be
white in the middle.
It's white in the middle. It's like a potato was white in the middle, or a cucumber. And we were saying again that there are lots of vitamin C and things like this. So the more colors you can have in every meal and every snack, and as long as they're colors that come from nature, you're going to be eating lots of nutrients and lots of things that are good for your body, as opposed to just filling your body with empty calories.
Well, you know, there's a lot of talk on television about this being wrong with you and take this, and that being wrong with you and take that. Coach, lots of times just start eating your colors and drinking water.
Food is an incredible positive medicine if you eat the right foods, and it can be a bad medicine too if you don't eat foods that are full of nutrients and different vitamins.
Absolutely.
Protein. So you eat your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, and your protein every day.
Every day you want to eat them. You don't want to play with this. It's too important.
This
All
is
right.
very pretty. Now what do we do with this apple here?
That apple, I'm going to take, and there's a couple ways you can cut an apple. I like to do it this way. I cut around the core, and I always lay it on the flat side. And then, Coach, the reason I do this...
Thank you. I'm getting hungry myself.
Isn't that good? Now, I'm going to keep these apples kind of long for fun.
You know, that's an interesting taste. That's apple with dill on it. But like we
Yummy!
said, we always give everything a try, don't we?
That's You know, that's the truth. And I don't let my kids say nasty when I'm doing a class. I hate that word.
Well, parents, you have to be really careful about this too. I've seen children who refuse to eat something that they've never tried before because their parents doesn't like it. Like peppers. One time I cut up a lot of different peppers. And then we were going to taste test those with some low-fat ranch dip I had made.
Yeah.
And one of the parents said, I don't eat peppers. And so immediately
Nobody ate
the
them.
whole table said no. So parents, if you don't like something, try to keep that to yourself so your child will at least have the opportunity to try it
Yeah, that's not
and
right.
have a healthy lifestyle that way. What great colors. I love this green of the apple with the purple.
White and the purple.
Such.
Now, you could use red wine vinegar with this, but I like to use the apple cider because I like the flavor it gives and the color the salad ends up with. And you could use celery seed in here. You could use dill. Use whatever you want.
So mix it all around. Get everything all coated. Is that what we're doing now?
That's all we're doing. And you might go, oh, you need more dressing. Well, you don't, because the apple cider is a vinegar, and vinegars kind of start cooking stuff. Oh. So when it does, it draws the moisture out of the cabbage.
I don't think I can wait another second. May I just
Yes.
give it a little try? This is so good.
Yeah,
And
this is
easy.
good
I
party
like the
food.
fact that it's easy.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be done, girl.
Oh, what?
All right. Now, let's make our dessert.
Okay. The flaming dessert.
The flaming dessert. We are now making our Caribbean bananas for dessert. Now, this dessert is good by itself. It's good over shortbread. It's good over anything. But my favorite is homemade vanilla ice cream.
Oh, well.
But we're not going there.
Too bad. That
All
sounds
right.
really good. What is this recipe we're doing?
All right, it's called Caribbean bananas, and you're going to think it's like Bananas Foster.
Okay.
It's very similar, but it's got rum in it instead of different liqueurs like they do in Banana
So this is going to be a flaming food.
A flaming food. Now, if you don't want to use alcohol, use Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola will flame.
Right. Well, no, you don't flame it.
Could you use extract though? Could you like use almond extract or vanilla extract, lemon extract?
You don't want to do that.
It
Not
wouldn't
when you
taste
see
good?
this recipe.
Okay.
All right, I've got bananas. I'm using rum. And because it's the Caribbean, I've got cinnamon, but I've got allspice. And they use allspice in everything Caribbean. Allspice is a berry
Oh, okay, I didn't know what it was.
that they crush up. I'm going to use some lime juice. You can see this stuff wouldn't be so good with your almond extract.
Right. Sorry
and
about
butter
that.
to cook it in. And the brown sugar and butter are going to make the sauce.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to open up the banana.
Now watch her how she opens this banana. I did not know ever that you're supposed to squeeze the bottom end.
Squeeze the bottom in, and it
Trick.
peels right open.
See, I did that too.
Yeah,
Very easy.
there you go.
I'm so hungry.
And I'm going to cut it at an angle
Why?
because it looks prettier.
It does look prettier.
And put it in there. And then what I'm going to do, even though I'm going to be cooking it pretty soon, I'm going to put my lime, squeeze it in here.
Use a whole lime?
Yeah,
So I can do that part?
yes. And if you can't get the lime to squeeze all the way, if you stick a spoon in it and squeeze it around the spoon, it works.
Yeah, I
pretty.
use a fork sometimes.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
that's all you're trying to do. And we've
Get
got
more
our
of it out.
lime
Let me use
juice.
that big-
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the stove and make our yummy Caribbean bananas. All right, I've got my stick of butter melting, and I'm adding 1.5 cups of brown sugar. And normally when you measure brown sugar, you pack it.
Why is that?
You pack it because when you get brown sugar, it's got lumps in it. So if you pack it, it doesn't have all the air from the lumps.
And so you get a more precise measurement.
Exactly. Now, what we're doing is we're turning this in, and I am going to get some cinnamon from Coach.
All right, cinnamon
And
coming.
cinnamon and
What do you use? Like a teaspoon?
Ah! That's why you don't measure over the container. And about the same of allspice.
And allspice
is really a Caribbean dish. That's what
Sure
you
is.
use in jerk.
Oh, okay.
That's what gives it
You
that
calling me
Caribbean.
a jerk?
Yes. Coach is not a jerk. Coach is a good person.
Thank you.
All right, now I'm stirring this up and I'm making my sauce.
Okay. So allspice, cinnamon, butter, brown sugar so far.
And I've got my lime juice already put on my bananas so they wouldn't turn color.
Yes, we do.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my measuring cups.
Okay.
I'm going to add my rum. My rum is going to be the fun part here.
There's a lot of rum here.
I know. Well, we've got a lot of bananas because everybody wants this dessert.
I bet they do.
Now, when you go to add alcohol to something, you don't add it while it's on the burner. So I'm adding it over here, and then I'm going to tip
Whoa!
it, and it flames. And this is cooking the alcohol off. Now, you can't do that with every spatula. This is a spatula that goes up to 550 degrees.
All right.
So we're going to let this burn off. Isn't that fun?
Well, yes. It's
If you're scared, you can put a lid on it.
okay.
Okay?
Do you mean be quiet or?
No, I'm
Okay.
fine. You're the one that's nervous. Now, I'm going to trade with you.
Okay.
Give me the bananas.
Well, here they are. I just didn't realize we were doing Towering Inferno in this episode.
And I'm going to turn this off now. Well,
Now,
we've
why-
got a lot of alcohol there.
Why?
And we're burning the alcohol off, and it's concentrating these flavors. Now, what you can do if you can't get it to go out, and you should be able to, you just cover it. And you get the oxygen out of it, and it's fine.
Will it still do the same thing as far as getting all the
Yes.
flavors to mix?
Now, I'm going to let this sit in here for a while. Now, I'm going to turn this burner back on a little bit. And I'm going to let it cook for just a little bit. I'm going to get my plates. Coach,
I cannot wait to
we
try
have our
this.
Caribbean bananas. Now, I'm going to take these with the syrup. And I made a lot because, you know what? You can't help but to eat a lot of these.
And just smelling this,
I
I have a
know.
good idea why this would be so good on homemade vanilla ice cream.
Oh, goodness.
Or maybe-
Either that or something local like Grater's or Comfy Cow or Pie Kitchen.
Or even if you want to take some of the calories out of it, would it be okay if you had frozen vanilla yogurt?
Yeah, sugar-free,
Yeah,
fat-free.
I mean, not that it's really going to matter once you're having this.
Now, remember this flamed, so it's a little hot.
but- okay. Did it flame or what? I was surprised you didn't lose your eyebrows.
Oh, no, I'm used to doing that. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I wish you could have some of this. You
Oh,
must make some
my
of
gosh.
this.
You can taste the butter, the brown sugar. You can smell
cinnamon?
and taste the allspice and the cinnamon. Oh, my gosh.
This is fabulous. It's flambeau. It's fabulous flambeau.